guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? I hope y'all liked last week's episode because, most of us are dating.
Yeah, and it was our first interview ever on the podcast. Yes. So I was really excited about that because Rebecca and I have been talking about doing interviews. We always got questions. That's in our journalism major, but to be able to bring that on our podcast was super exciting.
Yeah, so shout out to you, Terrence. If you do see this, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And if you haven't seen the video yet, go check it out. What you're doing.
If you're struggling with dating or not even dating specifically, but just therapy and just talking about the struggles and tribulations of being in here.
Trials and tribulations?
Yeah, trials and tribulations. You get it. When you a Spanglish person, you be thinking in a language and speaking in another, but...
I felt that. But yeah, y'all. We appreciate you guys. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We got a few. We went up there a little bit. As of right now, we're at 249. So hopefully by next week when we do our next video, it's I'm not going to drag you and say 260, but... Hey,
it's possible. And we have another interesting interview coming up. So if you are a Caribbean person, you will definitely, specifically if you're Dominican and Puerto Rican, you're going to enjoy this conversation.
Dominican and Puerto Rican only?
Oh, and Haitian too. Dominican, Puerto Rican, Haitian. Oh my God.
And this goes straight to the video.
Right. If that boiled your blood, then this is the video for you. But anyways, if you're Caribbean, you're going to love that. We talk about our trials and tribulations from La Isla Española.
Yes, my darling. So,
anyway,
from tensions to together,
the tension's still there, but we try.
Girl, I'm talking about us.
Oh, we don't have tension.
Ever. But I'm just saying, people would expect that.
Exactly. But anyways, we're grateful for all our subscribers. We are trying to... The goal is to reach 1,000. We need to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're watching and you're enjoying this, listen, we talk about a lot of things. That's why it's called Too Much. So feel free to fast forward and find what you like. We start off with news, then we get into social media topics, and then sports. So find what you like. We have everything, all the flavors, all the things, but...
There's a sprinkle of everything for everybody.
Exactly. We always start with our weekly rundown. So... let's get into that.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to our weekly rundown. So if you are new here, let me give you a quick breakdown. Shayla and I go through different things throughout our weeks. And technically, you guys didn't see us last week because we did our dating episode. So technically, it's 2 weeks missing.
Well, no, because we did our little 30-minute thing.
Oh my God, yes. And we just did our, let us know if you like that also. We did a little breakdown of, some of the social things that have been happening throughout the week that we knew we wouldn't get to in time by the time this podcast episode drops. So we made sure that we did a quick little 30-minute segment for y'all. So check that out too, because, we just gave a little update on some of the things that were happening. But our weeks.
Yeah, you can start off because last week I started off.
Okay, girl. All right. It's a little heavy this week.
Oh, Lord.
I got my notes app ready. Hold up. Let me go to it.
It's not ready.
Girl. So I got called bougie this week, right?
You are.
What do you classify as bougie?
Someone that likes high level things. You always, getting your nails done is not a bougie thing. I think it's just maintenance and you're that type of girl, but you don't want to ride in public transportation.
Oh my God.
Only make reservations. You don't want to stand in line. You want a car. That's your bougie.
Y'all,
there's nothing wrong with that.
So Shayla thinks that me not wanting to ride a bus, I choose to ride a bus.
Public transportation.
I choose to go on a train before I go on a bus. It's not bougie.
You don't like public transportation.
I go on a train all the time.
All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand.
So someone called me bougie, and it's they call me bougie because I'm a brand specific person. If I like to cook with one specific brand, that's the only brand I want. And so they were like, "Oh, you're too bougie," and I'm just is it bougie to know what you want? Mind you, bougie is a translation in French for bourgeoisie, which equates to middle class. So it don't even make sense.
Well, in our translation, American is bougie is bougie, but I don't think that's something to be offended for. You are that, but I don't think I'm the same way. Specifically for my water and certain things, I'm very much
But I don't think that makes you us bougie.
No, I don't think that's what I mentioned. I think does make you bougie, but you wanting a
also,
specific brand.
Let me know. So Shayla thinks it's weird.
It's not weird
that people make reservations. Like that's what you do. That's what you do as a
well,
society.
maybe it's just listen. I'm from Patterson. We're gonna get into that in my weekly rundown, but like. That's just something that I didn't grow up making reservations. You just pull up, and if there's a wait time, you wait, and that's it.
I never grew up on that either. We used to go to Red Lobster, and you get a
Girl,
buzzer.
Red Lobster is like right now it's not considered bougie, but growing up, I saw Red Lobster as like seafood. Like, listen, we come from two different types of incomes. Clearly, we on Rebecca budget house, like 2 tiers. For me, I just never made reservations. It was like. You just pull up and that's it. But I've come to accustomed to that though.
That's something I had to get accustomed to too.
You were raised in a more bougie, and that's okay. Girl. In a bougier neighborhood, for sure.
Y'all let me know if reservations is bougie for you because
it's not bougie. It's just, anyways. Let's continue. Okay, so what you tell the person that told you that you were bougie?
I told him step your Duffy up. Like if you think I'm bougie, step it up.
But why were you offended by that?
Because, like, it was just such a... I feel like sometimes people just use words just to use words. It's like...
No, you are bougie.
Because I rather use Lucerne... I think that's how you pronounce the cheese. Lucerne cheese over Kraft?
No. But for other reasons, you are bougie, and that's okay.
I wasn't offended. I was more like... What are you talking about? Kind of thing.
I think they were right. They just didn't use the right explanations. Comment down below. What makes someone bougie?
Definitely. So the next thing I want to say. So, I had went to the store and, usually when I go to the grocery store, there's never like really cute people around. I just be walking and like if you do stare at me.
What grocery store? That's important.
Girl, I was at ShopRite.
Oh, okay. Why you say it like that? I love some ShopRite.
I like ShopRite, but ShopRite don't like. I go there for the meats and the cheese. I don't go there for the selection of men. You know what I'm saying?
We're the good looking. I'm sure there's some cute looking. If the ShopRite located in a nice little area, the men might be there. Anyways.
Yeah, the husbands.
Oh, the ones that are taken. We're not home wreckers, so that's a no.
But I can be home decor. Wink, wink. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, like, as I'm walking through like the yogurt aisle, because they got this dairy free. Like Greek yogurt, I forget the brand. Ever since I discovered it, girl, I swear I'm on cloud 10. I'm like, wow, I can eat like the normal people. But like, So as I'm walking, there's a man in like the ice cream portion because it was like right next to it, whatever. And like, he looked kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm easy a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. If you give me a good amount of eye contact, baby, you got me. Like,
oh my God. I'm so awkward when it comes to anything relating to dating and flirting. Like, I feel like it's easier to flirt with you if I know I don't like you. If I like you, it's like,
but no, that's
because I could flirt if I really want to, but if I think like I don't like you, so it's just jokey. But I'm not that type of person because I'm empathetic and I feel bad. But when I like you, I freeze up.
No, I get that. Like if I don't like you, I could flirt you down.
Hello?
I'm gonna flirt you out them drawers. Okay. But if I like you,
it's so annoying. I'm like, girl, you got all this talk, all of this, and then when you gotta put it to work, I just can't say nothing.
It's like,
is that, comment down below, is that normal? Like, especially if you're a girl watching this, or even like men, is it because I don't have a lot of dating experience, or is that a normal feeling to just get stuck when you are so like also, baffled by someone?
We're so off topic right now, but like, what's your flirting style though? Like, how do you think you flirt? Because there's some girls who do like the ditzy or like.
No, I'm not a ditzy girl at all. I just got a smart mouth. So like, I will say like smart little comments.
Yeah, I think that's me too. Like, I give like slick responses, and like I be smiling and grinning, and I'll be like, "Oh, you think you funny?"
Yeah, I'm a smart comment, and also like, I'll step my Duffy up in terms of like how I look. I feel like I will,
chest
this is just how I
chest just automatically look like a.
My belly ring just be out. Mind you, I never wear, but
facts. I swear, my first time seeing you with a belly ring was like 3 years into.
Yeah, my mom literally, when I asked her for it, she was like, "Girl, why do you even want that?" I'm like, "But I did it for me because I like it." I think it looks cute.
But the important part is the fact that, like, I have peeped him. And honestly, guys, if, like, a girl ever says to you, like, oh, like, he saw me first. No, we saw you first. We just made sure we were in the position so you could see us. And we make you think you saw us first, okay? So, like, I peeped him. And, like, the swag was cute. Like, he had some joggers, some nice sneakers. Like, you know, real chill vibes. And, you know, the hair was... I was
Sweatpants,
like,
hair tie vibe.
Okay, you know, when you get a haircut, you know you gotta go to all the stores.
Top 5.
So, like, I saw him and he was about to close the door because I guess he got the ice cream he got. And so, like, me and him make eye contact. And, like, you know, I like to do my signature, like, up, down look. Like, and I turn my head because, you know, you peeped. I gave you the eye contact. He smirked. And he was just like, I had to get my ice cream.
That's it? That's what got you?
No, wait.
Oh.
And then he was staring at me, and I was like, oh, what flavor you get? And then I recommended him to the ice cream that I like, which is the Ben & Jerry's Milk and Cookies vanilla based. He was like, okay, so you got a sweet tooth. And I was just like, a dentist hate to see me come in. And I got him giggling, and you know, once I got him giggling.
So you thought that was all you after that?
Girl, in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, la, la, la.
I need to go to, like, I mean, I can flirt. I just get stuck. I want to how do you get past the stuckness? Because if I like you, I also can't even look at you too much. Because I just be like...
But this is, like, basically, long story short.
Long story long,
right. I like a man who could, like, who you take control after that. So it's like, if you wanted my number, you would have asked me for my number or my Instagram or something like that. You ain't do that. So in my head, it was like, oh, cute little flirt, nice little stare down. And then I went about my day and you went about your day.
Right.
So honestly, the point of the story is, I love a good eye contact. But it's like, if we have eye contact, you gotta be fine. Cause, like, I need us to just be locked in, like, to see if our hearts both zapped. You know what I'm saying?
I saw this clip on TikTok that it was like, people get so stuck on, like, that love at first sight, and there's only like 5 or 10% who actually get that.
I'm attraction at first sight. I need to be like, it don't even gotta hit love. Like, I just need to make sure I'm attracted to you first.
Okay.
And then I could figure out if your personality matches beyond that. So, like, when people are like, oh, like, it's not all about looks, like, shut up. Like, when you first see if you are attracted to somebody, you gotta find them attractive. Like, you gotta find them attractive in some way.
So you don't think love grows? Like, if off rip, you're not like, damn, that's my man.
But I feel like love can grow, but I don't think you go into that situation thinking, oh my God, I'm about to fall in love with you, especially if you don't think they're cute. Right. But, like, after a while, after having conversations with them, you could be like, wow, I really like their personality, and something could grow from there. But I don't think, like, if I don't find you attractive, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's my man right there. Because who am I? What?
That's funny.
Like, what? She want a big dog. She don't want no puppy. Like, stop. So this thing I saw on Threads, and I wanted to read it to you because I was just like, wow, Shayla, we need to hear this. So it was a Threads post, and it said, overheard someone saying just now, you'll never feel ready because ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. That hit my chest.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree. Mindset is such a strong thing that, like, there's always going to be something else that you want to look forward to the next step, the next. And sometimes when you're so focused on the next, you miss the process. And so I think you have to make that executive decision for yourself. Like, I know I'm not where I want to be, but I choose to just lean in on living on where I am now. Because if not, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, but, like, when she said that, I was like, it, like, kind of forced me to, like, think deeper. Because I was just like, I'm always like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I'm like, honestly, like, how do I know if I'm ready if I've never experienced that thing to know if I'll ever be ready, you know? So it's like, it's kind of like basically going to the phrase, like, you just gotta take a leap of faith kind of thing. So yeah, I loved that when I read that, and I was like, oh my God, yeah.
You know I love me an inspirational quote. I love that. Yes. And books.
And my last two things, right? So, you know, TikTok trends, right? You know, the TikTok sounds that trend, you know, the videos that do great, everything like that everybody's like, oh my God, like, we collectively laugh together. The way some of y'all have taken, like, nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday to nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday is crazy. Like, y'all took a funny and, like, comedic trend and took the darkest
I haven't
twist.
seen the alternate form of this.
Shayla.
Is it people like actually hitting people?
No, like it's like they'll post a photo of like them, and like on the photo they'll put, I'm just using it as an example, like let's say it's a husband and a wife.
Okay.
Like they'll be like nothing, like they'll put the nothing over him, and then it's like beats, and then like it's like them on the girl. Let's say the husband's beating the wife. It's like the word nothing is written over the photo over him. And then over the wife, it's like Jet to Holiday.
Absolutely not.
So it's just like, and then this one lady, she did with her and her kids, and it was like the nothing was on the husband, beat was on the child, and then Jet to Holiday was on her. And I was just like, oh.
That's when we need to yank the social media privileges. Like, why can't we just keep things that are cute and funny?
And I get it. Like, I get bringing awareness to something, but it's like everybody in the question is like, so what do you want us to do with this information?
And everything shouldn't be a part of a trend. Like, certain things let us keep it like real serious,
right? Like,
because domestic violence is nothing to play
exactly
with.
But it's like it went from like laughing at like people falling off of jet skis to like,
or like fail moments type stuff,
and now I'm like, oh, he be beating you. Like, that's what you're saying. And like when people were talking about it before on TikTok, I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, my TikTok is perfectly fine. Like, it don't got none of that. Girl, as soon as I said that, boom, nothing beats a Jet 2 Holiday. I said, oh, baby.
Yeah, let's wrap that
up. And so then the last thing I want to talk about. I hate when people make me feel like I'm slow because they lack intelligence in what they're stating, right? And we are currently in a slow demic, okay? Every day I say to myself, it can't get no slower than that. And then someone shows me they could be a sloth. And then it's just like I just don't. And I get it. People are always like, oh, there's no such thing as stupid questions. Yes, there is. Like, if something lacks actual thought behind it, and don't get me wrong, I could call myself out. I ask stupid questions sometimes too. But I also clock myself. I'm like, well, that was a dumb question. You know, like, you got to be able to clock yourself. But then for you to sit there and be like, I don't understand how that's a stupid question. You just asked me if the sky has rain particles falling down. Did you feel a raindrop hit your lip? Like, yeah. So why are you asking me that?
Rebecca's the same one that asks as people are crying, are you crying?
It's more of like more of like a get me into the trigger of it for me. Like, it's like I have to get myself into, like, if I see, are you crying? Like, it's like Rebecca.
I told Rebecca, she's doing better now. But like when I'm crying, I don't want you asking me if I'm crying, because it's like, that's gonna make me feel worse.
But I acknowledge that it's a slow question. Like,
but we all do it. Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The problem is the people who consistently do it, and it's just like, I know they never allowed you on the short bus. They gave you a scooter. We
like the short bus, small bus, medium buses. All the buses are welcomed here.
Who said that?
Is that the end of your week?
Yes, that's it.
So for my week, if you know, I don't know if you know, but I'm from Patterson, and my lovely city has been under a water boiler advisory, right? A pipeline that's like over 100 years old broke and is leaking. And so a lot of people in my beautiful city have been without water for like 7 days. And my phone has been ringing nonstop from the mayor trying to give me updates. And I'm just like, thank you, but how about we just fix the issue? And I know it takes time, but like, when you are in your house, I'm grateful because thankfully I had water. I still have water. It's just like low pressure. But I'm just like, how would you guys feel if you wouldn't have water for 7 days?
And I think it's like an interesting conversation because like Shayla and I were just having this conversation in my room. We were like talking about, I was like, you know, there's the people who come from other countries where this is like something that's common and they know how to navigate already, or they know I have to finesse, right? And I think that's the problem I'm having. Like, yes, it's very unfortunate, and like nobody should go without the necessities and the basics that America has made us accustomed to.
Right.
That's an point of emphasis. I just feel like people don't, like I've said this before, people lack that figure it out gene, because it's just like, I understand if I don't have something, I got to do something to make it shake, to make it work. right? And it's just like people have been complaining, saying that the mayor isn't doing enough, but the mayor they've been giving out bottles of water. Honestly, but when you think about the situation, what more can I do, kind of thing?
They are doing what they can do, but I feel like when you're living through, especially me, like when someone asks me to do something, I'm gonna complain, but I'm gonna still do it. So it just feels like sometimes when you're very frustrated and you wake up and all you want to do is like what I've done for my 28 years of life, just wake up, go straight to brush my teeth, and all of a sudden, like, that switches up. A natural reaction is to be mad. Like, oh, well, now I can't just wake up and brush my teeth. And of course, like you mentioned, in other countries, that's their normal, but like they're accustomed to it. So anyways, that has been something of my week that I've had to deal with. But thankfully, I've had water. You just got to kind of maneuver your way out. And I've made it through. So hopefully by next week, everything will be fixed. Do you know what being parasocial is?
Yes, I have a parasocial relationship with Shelace at the current moment. Shout out to them. Team Shelace, we have been being fed.
Okay, so this is a word, I don't know who made it or if it's even an official word, but how I've seen it is like, I don't think we have the same definition. So I think parasocial is like when you're obsessed with like a social media couple, or like you ship two people that you just see on social media that you don't know for real, but it's just you see their content all the time.
Team Shelace. So let me just say, if you watch Love Island, that is Ace and Shelly is Haitian. So in my head, that's my Haitian cousin.
Right.
And
that's
also,
family.
I feel like Ace, his personality kind of emulates mine. So it's like people naturally like misconstrue things that we do as being aggressive and stuff like that, when we're actually just being very intentional and genuine with the way we act. You may question, you might not like some of the things we do, but it's done and we stand behind it 10 toes. So he had got a lot of like hate from Love Island. And so like that's what made me like go even harder for them in terms of like the way that I like
parasocial vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I bring this up is because this week there was like a Twitch stream between Agent is a part of like the AMP crew, which is like Kai Cenat and Phantom and all those people.
With the robe?
She like Asian.
Okay. She not like, she is.
Oh, okay. Love you, girl. Extra Emily. She reminds me, Teresa, if you're watching this, she reminds me of Teresa.
I saw a small clip and like she was like he was like saying something about a robe and she's like, I
got you one. Yes.
I would have offered it.
Oh my God. So anyways, at first it was just random clips. And I'm like, why am I getting so many clips? But you know, once you watch a full video, baby, it's a wrap. Your whole timeline. And they just kept going. I'm like, oh, you know how I am. I just love when people are so kind. So then I ended up, I'm like, let me go on Twitch. So they were doing this whole Twitch stream of like playing this video game. Girl, I don't
in like a dungeon or something.
It's like, it was like a green screen and they, you know, the production vibe of it all.
Right.
I do not care about nothing that got to do with video games. But because of how cute they were acting towards each other, I was like, I gotta see it. So it was like a 7-day stream and they're just so, they're the complete opposite, but they attract themselves because Extra Emily, mind you, I don't know these people. That's what is so scary. I'm like obsessed with them. I don't know if they're dating. Agent is saying they're not. But people, we started off as friends. You know what I mean? Like, they friends. Yeah. So anyways, I was watching the stream. And that's what's
so interesting because I feel like with us especially, like, we have that, like, obsessive trait where we can obsess over something. And, like, Shayla and I are very big on, like, we don't hold, like, celebrity relationships to any, like, high pedestal. But I'm the type of person, if I like you and I feel like the way that you are being treated or like the way that people try to make you seem as like, and I don't see it that way, I'm a ride for you 10 times hard. And it's so like, I think this the only couple like I can really think that I was just like,
but like for now,
right? Because then I'm gonna be over it. Like give me like 3 weeks, I'm be done.
Because I'm like as soon like now the stream is over, so I'm like over it already. But at the moment, they're so cute. Comment down below: is there a social media or just like a trending personality on social media that you're like anytime their video come up, it's like
anything Team Shelace, like we've been fed this week. It was Ace's birthday last week. They were in the club in New Orleans, Houston. Shelly's birthday is about to come up, so I'm like,
I see why they want to take social media away from me because if a new video pop out, I am there. I gotta see it. So shout out to Extra Emily and Agent. I don't know if you guys are dating, but I'm just
shout
saying.
Out Team Shelace. Shout out to y'all.
It'll look cute. And the last thing I want to say, because we're not gonna mention it, but it was a big thing. Taylor Swift announced that she's dropping a new album, her 12th studio album, I believe. It's called The Life of a Showgirl. How do you feel about that? It's big news. It broke the internet. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in with.
That's
if you
it. That's
get
all.
the reference, you get the reference. Doesn't do nothing for me. I hope her fans enjoy it. Rah rah, hooray, kumbaya.
Okay, well, if you're a Taylor girl, I'm happy for you. Now, let's
get your red lipstick ready. Okay.
Right. Well, no, this is Showgirl. This is like a whole different vibe. I can't lie though, the cover photos for this album did look cute, but I'm just not a Taylor Swift girl.
I never.
And that's okay.
Like, I saw one thing pop up about it on my socials, and
Right. All right. So on that note, let's move over to our news segment. This has been the longest weekly rundown of our life.
Nah, I think when we came back, like our first week back, that one was way longer. But that's because we had a month long of stuff to talk about. Long too. But like we said, if there's anything we've talked about that you want to give your comments, critiques, or anything on, you guys have been getting real good at commenting and letting us know on stuff. I want to have a conversation with y'all. Either Shayla will respond or I will respond. Sometimes you might get a response from the both of us from the Too Much account.
Depending on what you say.
Right.
Shout out to Denise. You're a real one. I love reading your comments, girl.
Okay, you get... Oh, Denise, when you watch this, because I know you're going to watch this, you saw that Amaya and Brian have recently been on all these like different like interviews and things like that.
Our press tour.
Yeah, they were on like Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. You really think that relationship is real? Like, be for real. Like, be for real. Like, the PR couple that people thought Nicolandria and Shalace were, you think that with Amaya and Brian? Let me know. But as we were saying, let's get into our actual
the real life issues of America.
Topics, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is Mr. Trumpet. I'm sorry. Donald Trump. So this week, President Trump federalized the D.C. Police Department. Trump deployed the National Guard and sent hundreds of federal law enforcement agents into the city. He says the move is meant to reduce crime and homelessness in the region. Federalizing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department means to transfer control of the police force from the local D.C. government to the federal government. So Shayla watched the press conference.
I did.
They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here. Nothing, you know. They're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be an asset. They will never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed.
So in the thing, he didn't describe the importance of it, but he disregarded the importance of rehab and was just like, who needs rehab? These people are useless to society. And when I heard that, I was just so triggered because number one, more police is not going to help the issue. Like, you need to provide resources to people. So number one, talking about how making fun of rehab, like, oh, who cares about rehab? Who needs that? These people are useless. Coming out of the mouth of someone who was elected to lead a country is so mind-blowing to me. Am I surprised by it? No, because he has already shown who he is, but there's just so many people that choose to be ignorant or just are so blindly obsessed with this man that anything that he says is like, oh no, he's joking. He doesn't mean this. He doesn't. I'm like, are you dumb?
My whole thing is, right, now, nothing surprises me, as you said, when it comes to Trump. So nothing really surprises me at all when anything disrespectful comes out of his mouth or anything he says is disregarded or anything like that. I just think sometimes it's very interesting because a lot of the people who support him say like he's so patriotic, he's so this, he's so pro-American, but the number of homeless veterans there are who, because of what they've seen when they've gone overseas to these different places, do resort to drugs and things like that, or because like whatever their circumstances is, they end up homeless, is like crazy. So now it's like, now they're useless when they're back here and they need help and I'm not saying every homeless person is a veteran, but I'm saying there are a number of, veterans who happen to be homeless. Right. And it's just like, you're important when you're useful, but the moment you get here and you can't get the adequate assistance that you need and you do end up on the streets, it's like now there's no value in you anymore. So it's just like, I just think the question is, where do you value humans? Like, where do you value people? And what do you think makes somebody useful? And what do you feel like makes them useless? Especially, like, don't get me wrong. There's some people who end up homeless because of the, circumstances of their own making. But that doesn't negate the fact that, like, if you are a nation for the people, of the people, show the people that you are there for them, kind of thing.
Especially because this is the same people, right, that are claimed they're so pro-life. That's why anytime people are like pro-life, I'm like, you don't actually care about people, because okay, you want everybody and their mother to get pregnant, push out the baby, but then as soon as they hear you want to retract all of the resources to help them. That is absolutely insane. And also, you're so pro-God. I promise you, if you are truly someone that follows the word, you should know that you are meant to help people. Just because someone is homeless doesn't make them less than.
Oh, girl, you ate that up. Sorry, I was a high five for that.
But that makes me so mad because people pick and choose when they want to claim their quote unquote values. You don't care about people. You very well do not follow the word of God. You don't stand for nothing. You're just saying these things and then people blindly follow them. How many times? The shooter that we saw that tried to get into the NFL building, there was police around. He was walking left, right, middle. It doesn't matter how much police you add. If you are not helping people at the, the crux of it all, nothing is going to change. You better start opening up countless of jail cells, because what? Your people are just going to be in jail. Oh, you're homeless. I'm going to collect you, put you here. How do you think that's going to solve the issue?
Also, you throw them in jail, they still don't got a place to go once they're released. So it's like, what is next? Like, I just need to understand, what is the solution? Like, what do you think? Yes, we understand that homelessness is a problem in America, especially when you go to New York.
Yeah, it is a problem.
It is a problem. But it's just like, what are we doing as a society to help? And like, people are like, well, they need to do it for themselves. How? Who's hiring homeless people for real? And like, when they do hire them, they're giving them these bootleg nasty jobs that nobody else wants to do. Like, what are the programs? Where are these, like, the shelters that there's shelters. These shelters are in such bad conditions. Mm-hmm. They don't actually help. They give you an ounce of resources and say, hope you can make it. Or they give you the timeline of, you get this amount of assistance for 6 months. Shayla will tell you she's been looking for a job for how many months? Yeah. Shayla's extremely qualified. So it's just like to your point, pick and choose type of society. And I feel like people choose to stand with ignorance and be oblivious when it comes to adequate assistance and proper help, and not figure out a way to take themselves out of their own reality and look at the reality of others. Yeah. So that's all I gotta say on that.
Yeah, it's very triggering, and I just hope another version of that is like what you consider crime. Because no tea, no shade, Deanna, we love you, girl. But it's like, as soon as a black person could just walk in and people are already like, depending on where you are around. For me, I feel like whatever, but it's like a reality.
When you see our next episode that comes out, we talk about that.
Yeah, about colorism. But it's just like, it's very triggering because for Donald Trump himself is a criminal. But you don't see nobody clocking that tea. So we pick and choose who's a criminal, who's this, who's that. Oh, when someone, all these massive shooters, mental health, all this or that. Like, you are trying to bring these National Guards to areas that are most likely predominantly black and brown people. And it's just, again, an endless cycle. People that are already down and struggling, you're making it harder for them to get out. And then you're downplaying the importance of rehab. So it's just like, you want the 1% to stay at the 1%. And so especially when like Black and brown people themselves go to war for this man, it's like, he will never pick you. I don't care how hard you try to go behind this man. The chance he gets to throw you under the bus, trust and believe that he will.
And my whole thing is, right, like, it's like rehab is so like unhelpful, so this, so that. But the moment somebody come out and say they gay, conversion therapy is the way to fix them. So it's like, now you picking and choosing again.
And on that note, conversion therapy, which that is insanity. But so this week,
it's funny.
It's not funny, but it's just, again,
it's funny when you mention the other things behind this person. Go ahead.
All right, so the Supreme Court has been formally asked to overturn the landmark same-sex marriage ruling, right? So for the first time in a decade, I don't even know where to start, because if in 2025 you still press about somebody being gay, you need help. You truly do. But that is what's happening, okay? So the Supreme Court has been formally asked for the first time in a decade to overturn the 2015 decision that legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. The petition comes from Kim Davis. We will get
when I catch you, Kim. When I catch you.
Catch me outside. How about that? The petition comes from Kim Davis, the former Kentucky County Clerk, who famously refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, citing her religious beliefs, a move that landed her in jail and left her owing over $360,000 in damages. Davis and her attorney argue the ruling was based on, quote, legal fiction and violates her First Amendment rights. The court will decide this fall whether to take the case, but many legal experts doubt it will succeed, noting strong public support for marriage equality and protections already in place under the Respect for Marriage Act. I also want to point out that Ms. Kim Davis has been married 4 times. She's currently with her husband, Joe Davis. She's been through 3 divorces. She was divorced in 1994, 2006, and 2008. So Kim Davis is pressed about a same-sex marriage, but the girl been divorced 3 times. How about you worry about you and your love
And
life?
I bet you her reasoning will be like, I can't help who I love. So you gonna try and stop who somebody else loves? Let me just get this point straight up out the womb and everything like that, okay? So when it comes to, people have such a problem when it comes to same-sex couples. And to me, I ask myself, what is the reason? Like, genuinely, what is the reason? Because for me, I'm not bothered by something that has nothing to do with me. And I granted, everybody's like, and then there's the people who give the excuse, oh, I don't have a problem with it, I just don't want it in front of me. You don't have to pay attention to it. Like, the amount of times I've seen some fine dudes with some egregious looking females, I don't sit there and be like, the whole time, like, oh my God, he dating that. Oh, that's what you like? That's your particular flavor? Go ahead, my boy. You got it. I just don't see how being bothered by somebody else choosing who they decide to love with their life has anything to do with me. Them getting married doesn't put more money in my pocket. It doesn't stop me from having an STD. It don't stop my period from giving me level 10 cramps. It don't do nothing for me. Because why? I live my life. They live their life.
Right.
And guess what? Our lives don't even gotta connect.
And a lot of people always say, like, religious belief. But I just don't think that is a valid reason. Like, okay, for some people, they say it's in the Bible, whatever, okay. But I'm just like, mind your business. Who are you to judge, right?
But my thing is, real quick, if those are the words you choose to live by, however you interpret the Bible, however you interpret your religion, if those are the words that you choose to live by, remember, you choose to live by, what does that got to do with the next person?
Yeah. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that Kim Davis, literally prefer to go to jail for a few days than to give these people their marriage license. Like, you are never going to come across this couple ever. And now she's talking about I don't think the Supreme Court is going to actually listen to this case, but let's say they do during the fall. You think you deserve emotional damage? You was trying to stop me from being with my partner.
Okay, it's like my whole thing is like, you want to claim that you went under emotional duress. Mind you, you chose to go the jail route, right? These people walked in there thinking that they're about to have the time of their lives, about to get married, everything like that. And you flat out told them, no, I'm not granting you that because you don't deserve it because y'all are religious a same-sex couple. It's just like, what kind of emotional damage do you think provides them? Matter of fact, they should countersue.
Right.
What we going lawsuit for lawsuit, ban for ban. Who gonna win? Okay.
It is very triggering. And also the fact that like the Supreme Court majority is conservative right now kind of, heightens the tensions because who knows where it stands. I don't think it's going to go nowhere. But again, in 2025, if you still have that belief, I wholeheartedly don't stand by that. Stop being so pressed about other people's truth. I always say this to people. I'm like, do you think people would just choose and willingly want to be judged?
So many people hate, like,
right. And especially like depending on how you were raised, like I speak for myself, like in a Caribbean household, I have seen, like, how do you think people feel when their own parents are denying them? Like, you think someone wants to do that just for funsies? No, like to me, it's weird. And I just wanted to talk about that because Kim Davis, girl, I don't think you're going to go nowhere. Focus on you and your kids and your life. Stop trying to literally ruin the lives of all. Like, girl, get a hobby.
Okay.
Tell them. Get a hobby.
Keep your man. Like, you about to.
Right. Work on making sure you don't get a fourth divorce, please.
Okay. Like, literally the amount of failed relationships you've had spell out the word love. So let's please learn how to move with love and mind our business. Okay. MIND. Okay. Another 4-letter word. Get into it.
On that note, let's move over to our social corner.
Yes. So welcome to our social corner. If you are new here, here's a brief description. And if you're not new here, hey, baby.
Welcome.
So our social corner is basically what we talk about when we see a bunch of different things that are trending on social media, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
Girl, not Facebook.
I mean, I see things on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So anything that we see that's trending on social media, we want to give our own takes and talk about it. We're not going to spend 15 minutes talking about one. Right. I keep saying we don't.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, let's dead that line.
Right.
We just talk about social media trending topics.
So we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics. And instead of spending egregious amount of time on it, we're going to try to divvy up in a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So on that note, the first topic that I saw across my social media timeline, CardiB once again in the headlines. This time not for throwing mics, for punching people at the clubs, for dropping her album. This time is for merch.
It's for her running her mouth, per usual.
Okay, so let me read this to you, y'all. So CardiB is facing backlash after jokingly calling fans fat
bleep.
Okay, we're going to play the clip, so you'll hear from the mouth, from the source. During a live stream when her largest merch size, a 3XL, sold out. Plus size creator, I think her name's Samara. I'm sorry if I believe that's how mispronouncing. Okay. So plus size creator Samara criticized the remark as fatphobic and highlighted the lack of inclusive sizing in merch. Cardi responded dismissively, telling Samara to, quote, shut up, and insisting it was an inside joke with fans, not meant to offend. She refused to apologize or read suggested books on fat phobia, saying she jokes about everyone and people should laugh at themselves.
What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes. Now, knowing that my fans is fat, I can't even make fun of fat people no more.
CardiB, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but Just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they. But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fat phobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy that your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans. But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fat phobia and standing up for them instead of standing against them.
Right. So it's you excitingly waiting for me to talk.
I want to know what
You think I'm the plus size spokesperson? No, stop.
Not the spokesman, but in our duo, yeah.
Okay, so for me, right now, I'm gonna preface this by saying I keep track of Cardi B in terms of when we're gonna talk about her, or like when she's going through something, and I really like it's. I have no choice but to look at it. But I'm not a part of Cardi B's fan base, right? So that's the first thing that I want to mention. I think when it comes to plus size people, we are not a monolith. What doesn't offend me doesn't mean shouldn't offend somebody else, right? But also the things that don't offend me are because I grew up in an environment, in a household where like what she said about y'all being like fat, whatever is like, I've heard 10 times worse. So to me, it doesn't, and I'm not saying that makes it good, and I'm not saying it makes it bad. I'm just saying for me, that's not the truth in terms of offense for me. So people were also under Samira's video saying like, mind your business, this, that, and third. Like, and like people, Cardi B's fans were basically coming at her so bad to the point where like she decided to take a break off of social media, right? And so there were some people who were saying like, you know, making comments like, you just mad because you're big, like you choose to be like that, you're this, you're that, you're like, why would you even speak on this? Like, why would you even be bothered? She wasn't even talking to you. I think people need to understand the term and phrase activist. She has been an activist for plus size inclusivity when it comes to different brands, when it comes to all this different stuff, when it comes to the plus size community. Like, she has been speaking out on this type of stuff. So for her to say, hey, I don't think you should have said that because when it comes to merch, you know, a lot of them aren't inclusive. And it is true. There's times where I've gone to different concerts and they don't have my size and stuff like that. But also, I'm not into graphic tees, like t-shirts and stuff like that. So,
but that still doesn't make it.
Right. It doesn't make it fair.
Right.
But for me, I don't get like emotional or nothing about it. And that's not something I would sit there and be like, I need to send 10 toes on because again, it's nothing of my interest. But I get exactly where she's coming from. So I see... Like, do I think that Cardi B was joking with her fans? Fans,
it happens.
Fans, yes. Do I think Cardi B was joking with her fans and stuff like that? Yes. Do I think Samira has a place to feel like she could be offended? Yes, because two things can be true at the same time. Do I think that as someone who has said things that do offend people, and I understand when it comes to the word intention is very important as well. If Cardi B was originally speaking directly to Samira and called her a fat bleep and said, oh, like you went and bought my merch and stuff like that, then I'm gonna be like, all right, you doing too much.
Right.
But I think the fact that like she was talking with her fans and stuff like that is another point, because Shayla and I talk all the time and I'd be like, girl, my big back self, like, let me tell you like the egregious thing I was doing. I was like, girl, it was really giving high caloried individual. Like, look what I was doing. Like, I make those jokes about myself.
Yeah.
you know? And like, if somebody else heard me say that and they are more sensitive and like, you know, especially if they're a player of the plus size community and they're like, I was offended when you said that, even though you were talking about yourself, it made me look different, like look at myself differently, then I would tell them, I apologize for making you feel that way. I'm not going to apologize for what I said because I'm not going to switch up how I talk just because that offended you. Because again, we don't live the same realities. So what offends you is going to offend you. What offends me is going to offend me. We don't get offended by the same things. And if we happen to do so, great, we connect. But if we don't, life, right? So I just think for me, I see from both perspectives where she was like, Cardi B being dismissive because that wasn't her intention to offend her. She was talking to her fans.
She even said like, oh, my PR person told me to do this, but I'm not going to apologize.
Because I think also what it is there's times where like all these celebrities apologize and I'm just like, what are you apologizing for? If you stand behind that, stand 10 toes. Because now it gets foo-foo and you going to switch up for what? If that's how you felt, speak on that, say that, and stand behind that. There's things that I say that people will not agree with me with. But if I'm telling you I stand 10 toes on that, you can't tell me that I need to switch up how I'm going to be or what I'm going to say. Yeah. So it's like, do I think Samira has a point? Yes. Do I think Cardi B has a point? Yes. Do I think that two things can be true? Yes. Do I think that Cardi B could be wrong in this situation? Absolutely, because the people who are going to be offended are going to be offended. Because there's even some people who are her fans who were offended, who are plus size and did buy that merch. So it's like, you can't speak for everybody. Even though I'm plus size, when I heard Cardi B say that, okay, cool. Go about your day.
Yeah, I think I also am on the same boat as you. I feel like they both have their points. And I think when you are raised in a Caribbean household, again, I'm just going to say this, like, raised by a Dominican mother, very fat phobic. So when you're raised in that type of environment, not saying that is right.
Your sensitivity level is completely different.
If Natalie, you watching this, my cousin, we know, like, I was always the chubby child. So I would always get, like, those smart remarks all the time. And I got used to it. Did I feel good about it? No. But when you're just accustomed to something, you get older and it's like normal, right? Cardi B also made a point. She's like, oh, well, everybody make fun of my BBL and, you know, and I just live with it, da-da-da-da. I genuinely don't think that Cardi B meant it to be like disrespectful. Malicious. She always makes smart remarks and says like funny comebacks and like, this is how you should wash your vagina. Like, she always has those types of vibes. But on the other side is like, you can't tell a community how they should like receive something, right? Because I strongly believe if you're not a part of a community, you can't tell them how to feel about it, right? She not a part of the plus size community. So if someone who did feel offended, then that's just, it is what it is. If she didn't want to, if Cardi B chose not to apologize for it, Cardi B is known to stand on business, 10 toes. Like, she'll hit the courts, okay? So it's just like, I think her point was very valid. I think we still do live in a very fat-phobic society, which is, especially now with the increase of like, all the drugs to lose weight and like, it's like shoved down your throat, like, oh, well, you're big because you want to, and all of these things. We definitely need to work on that as a society, but I don't think that Cardi B meant bad or like wrong.
And I think also what it is like, people are like, oh, people don't know like jokes. And I feel like a lot of times people need to understand a lot of jokes are rooted in different types of phobias, right? Mm-hmm. There's homophobic jokes. There's fat phobic jokes. Right. Like there's like religious jokes. Like there's like everything is rooted in something. And again, like I said, just because you're a part of a community doesn't mean like you are not a monolith. Like, you are allowed to feel how you want to feel.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you should feel invalidated, which is why when I say, Shayla will tell you, I say offensive things all the time.
Yeah.
But if somebody tells me I offended them, I will tell them like, and if it really wasn't my intention, I will tell you, I apologize for making you feel that way. And people think that when you apologize for making someone like saying, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, people think that I'm trying to be dismissive or like
a backhanded
like
apology.
a backhanded apology. But for me, it's not that way for me, because I don't, unless I choose to, but I don't intentionally all the time go out of my way to make someone feel bad or feel bad about themselves in any type of way. But if I hurt your feelings, that wasn't my intention. I will apologize for hurting your feelings. But if I do not feel like what I said, I would not say again. If I feel like I would say it again, I'm not going to apologize for saying that.
Yeah, I think this situation will definitely bring spotlight to the issue, right? Like being more inclusive with merch sizes. Like something as simple as like, yes, the whole talk of it came because of the CardiB and the whatever. But I think at the end of the day, it is going to bring up the conversation of like, you know, as an artist, why do you only go up to XL? You know what I mean? Like it will bring in important conversation that needs to be had. And I hope that they're able to talk it out. Who knows?
Yeah,
like I think both of them would definitely, like a collab or something would be good. I don't think she meant bad by it.
I don't think she did either. But again, like I said, like growing up, because I was always the heavier set girl, the plus size girl, like even Shayla and I were talking upstairs in my room, we were saying like, you know, I was the type of person who was always included in like the yo mama jokes and things like that. And Shayla was always the person like, not. I feel like once you understand your sensitivity level, you know what to keep yourself into and you know what to not put yourself into. Like for me, I'll never forget this one yo mama joke. It's funny as like,
you're not gonna say
it. It was towards me.
No, but let's not.
They say, your mama is so fat, you are the mama.
On that note, let's move on to the second trending topic on social media.
Yo, we're
gonna talk about, she's a runner, she's a track star.
Oh, okay, let me get you in the stew today. Okay, so let me confirm Sha'Carri.
I think it's Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay, Sha'Carri. Okay. So Sha'Carri Richardson addressed her July 27th arrest for 4th-degree domestic violence. I didn't know domestic violence went to degrees.
Me either.
Wow. Okay. Involving her boyfriend, fellow sprinter Christian Coleman at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. In a social media video, she admitted that she put herself in a compromised situation, and she said that she is practicing self-reflection, vowing to face challenges head on. In a written apology, she told Christian she loves him and she is so sorry, saying her apology should be as loud as her actions. Police said security footage showed that Richardson was yanking Christian's backpack, blocking his path, shoving him into the wall, and possibly throwing an item at him. Christian declined to participate in the investigation and be considered a victim. Sha'Carri praised Christian for showing her unconditional love, highlighting his positive influence in her life, right? So here's a quick snippet of the security video.
A packed terminal right outside security checkpoint 4. She was then booked into jail and then released the next day. This week, she addressed what happened on her social media.
More than anything, definitely a lot of self-reflection, a lot of understanding of not only putting myself in a compromised situation, but somebody that I have a deep care and appreciation for as well is something that holding myself accountable.
Along with the recorded apology to her fans and family, she posted this statement apologizing to her boyfriend for what happened at the airport.
Now, I may be a part of the problem.
I think so too. I thought there was nothing bad that happened.
And like, granted, Shayla and I have said this. Keep Caribbean your hands to yourself. Yes, but Caribbean household, yes, definitely Caribbean household. Also, we say like keep your hands to yourself, right? And I think for me, the reason why I'm like, I looked at the video and I was just like, I didn't see much here because like
I'll be pushing Rebecca like for fun. I mean,
but like that different context.
I know, yeah.
Because if like we was into it and you
right.
But I think for me, maybe it's because like if that was 4th degree, I'm assuming it, like
that's the lowest it could get.
The lowest it could get. 1 is like the worst. I'm assuming.
Right. So 4th is like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I've seen 0. Like I've seen 0.0. Like 0 degree bad. Like,
and I think also the other point to that is like if the roles were reversed and he was the one that was pushing her like that, it would have not been perceived the same. Exactly. So I do understand where it's like, oh, yeah, talking about equality. Like, no, the same way we wouldn't accept it if he was doing that to her, you know what I mean? Like, the same standards apply across the board.
I definitely would
So
agree.
I think, number one, I am the problem, because when I saw that, I kept on searching for videos, because I'm like, this can't be the video
I
where
must have missed something.
yeah, where police were called, because I'm not gonna lie, I've seen way worse and things go nowhere. That doesn't make it okay. We are the problem. And I love how they both approach the situation.
Are they still together?
I think they are. But even if they're not, it's like, he never bashed her. Like, I think he went to a meet right after that and they asked him about it, and he didn't bash her. He didn't say anything. He spoke very highly of her as an athlete, as a person. And so I do appreciate that she also came back and, you know, said her piece. Of course, people are going to take what they want. And now when she is on the track, people are always going to bring this up. So that is unfortunate. The fact that they, for real, put her in a police car. It's just, you know, as an athlete, an Olympian, you don't want that.
Yeah,
and the press and the baggage that comes with that. But it is something that, like, you live and you learn. And she talked about it. Like, I come from, you know, a tough background. And so when you see, kind of like to the point that I'm saying, like, I'm used to seeing way worse. That doesn't make it okay, right? Like, we need to work on ourselves to understand, like, you shouldn't accept this. You shouldn't do this. So I think they went about this in a very good way. So I'm happy.
And I think for me also what it is like, when I saw the whole video, like I've done a lot of self-reflection in life, right? Obviously there's still ways I can improve, but for the most part, the egregious things that used to be me, I've improved on. And I used to have a problem putting my hands on people, right? So it's like, listen, I tell my truth, okay? And as someone, like, there's been guys who I've dealt with in the past, oh baby, yeah. But I just feel like I would have got a 1 degree at that point. Like, I didn't see it that bad, but two things could be true at the same time in terms of, like, if it was him. And that's why I was asking you if they're still together, because if the roles were reversed and it was him and he did that to her, people would be like, and she was like, if they were still together, people would call her weak, this, that, and that. Right? But the fact that it's him, I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a society, like, the men are supposed to be the macho, like, they can't go through this, they can't, which they most definitely can. And so it's a learning experience. For me, I wish them well, whether they're together or not. I'm proud of you, especially how our society is. You got Christian rock and blue, like, they handle it completely different. Like, we've seen way worse with Blueface, and they still together.
I've seen everyday couples go toe to toe.
Exactly.
I'm talking about frying pan and a knife, like, crazy. So I believe if the disrespect is loud, the apology should be just as loud. And, you know, if it was something that circulated all through social media, then the apology should be done the same exact way.
Yep. So shout out to both of them. We wish them the best of luck. The last topic on our social corner, this is something that really took me through the loop, and it's more so just to reflect on, like, karma will get you. Okay.
I chose to be surprised by this. I don't know what she's about to tell
So
me.
we all know Kelly Clarkson. You know Kelly Clarkson, the singer. She recently, well, I don't know, not recently, but she went through a divorce, and the divorce was very rocky because she ended up having to, like, pay spousal support, right? And so surprising new details have emerged following the death of Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock. He passed away at the age of 48 after battling melanoma cancer. I didn't even know that he had cancer. I think that was just, like, under wraps, but we found that out after news broke that he passed away.
Right.
So Blackstock shared 2 children with Clarkson before their divorce in 2022. He had been receiving spousal and child support from Kelly Clarkson as part of their settlement.
Child support? He had the kids full time?
No, but whatever.
The
moral of the story is they had the funeral, and on the obituary, I guess it was, like, posted online where everybody could see it. And his obituary revealed that he was, quote, building a life with Clarkson's former production assistant, Brittany Marie Jones. The two had even created a company together, running ventures like the Headwaters Livestock Auction and the Valley View Rodeo in Bozeman, Montana. So you guys go through a divorce. I got to pay spousal and child support. And then you end up creating a life with my production assistant. RIP to Blackstock, but this has to be discussed. Karma.
Wait.
The audacity. Rest in peace.
This is still her production assistant or no?
What you think? Of course not. Obviously, like, that's not her production assistant no more, but
I think for me, before, like, I need to understand the timeline of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I get it. It's messed up in terms of, like, me and my man, like, the problems we went through and everything like that. But I need to understand the timeline. Like, nah, even because at one point when we were working together, you had to be flirting with each other.
It always starts at something.
Oh, yeah, y'all would have had to dug him up.
And the fact that I'm paying while you are alive, your spousal child support, while you over here laying down with my ex. Like, I feel like when you're a production assistant, you are so close to somebody, especially when they're, like, such a big star.
Right.
You with them all the time.
Right.
You have
to. You know the problems and stuff that they go through and things like that. So I think that's real grimy. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Give me a shovel today. We got to dig him up.
So I was just so perplexed by that. And then so, like, that's insane. Men are just... There's all these women out there, but you decided to go for someone that's like my right hand.
But I think also sometimes it's like a conversation of, like, sometimes you can't help who you love, but I think help it.
Yeah, figure it out. And if anything, like, I don't know if this was the reason or, like, the thing that triggered the divorce, but let's say that it was. You as a man, I'm sorry, I know I'm pro equality, but, like, as a man, you should not be accepting spousal support. Grow up, go work. I don't care if I'm making more money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go out there and work.
I think for me, it's mainly the child support. Like, you don't even have the children full time. Like, what are you getting support
Well, that's
for?
why, like, during the time, there was a lot of talk because it's like, what do you mean? And also, in my head, I'm already plotting and I overthink everything. So I'm thinking, with this spousal support that I'm giving you, you launching a business with this woman who was my production assistant. Like, I'm basically carrying your business.
And the fact that, like, even if, I think for me, what would trigger me the most about it is the fact that, like, while we were working together, y'all could have had eyes or something for each other. Then we break up, y'all are together, and I'm helping still facilitate the life. Mind you, y'all met through me. Y'all got together after me, and I was helping facilitating the lifestyle. And y'all taking money from me?
So I'm going to tell you. So she was the name of the production assistant, Brittany Mary Jones, right? So they divorced in 2022, right? Officially. So from 2016 to 2018, Brittany Mary Jones worked as a production assistant for Clarkson. So I guess it was after, but it's like still, there's so many women in my life. No.
But it's like, again, I just need to understand, like, Brittany, listen, I know I always say, like, people's relationships are their relationships. I need you to do, what's that one who was married to Twitch? Allison Holker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I need you to do a little tell-all book, okay? You gonna sell off, you won't even need Kelly Clarkson money no more.
Yeah, so basically, she worked for her from 2016 to 2018. And then in 2020, the production assistant moved back to, like, their hometown or whatever. And that's when they started dating. But I don't care about nothing.
But that means you still had to be attracted to her at one point. Like, while we were working together.
Anyways, RIP to that man. It was very grimy. And whatever's done in the dark will always come to light.
Rest in petty, sir. Rest in petty.
Trust and believe. On that note, let's move over to our sports corner.
You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now.
Dribble, swish. Okay, hey, welcome to our sports corner, y'all. So if you are new here, let me give you a brief description. And if you aren't new here, get you a whistle, get you some popcorn, because, baby, we got a game for
One
y'all.
thing about record, she love to intro every segment.
Okay,
like, at this point, you do not need to intro every segment. You should know.
That was a cute dap up, though.
Oh my God, Agent and Extra Emily. That's how they met. He was teaching her how to dab.
Yo, Shey was so stupid.
You gotta watch. You gotta be part of the crew to know.
No, but I get it though. So, yes, our sports corner, we're gonna talk about a bunch of various different things in
Sports, yeah, I
sports.
get
You know,
it.
like sometimes it's about the sport, sometimes it's the people involved in the sport.
Right.
But we got things we got to say. So, let's get into our first thing.
So number one is, you guys know I love the WNBA. The Liberty are just, I don't know. They're in Mid City right now, but I'm still gonna support.
Mid City is
They have a lot of
crazy.
injuries. Some players come back, some don't. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just there to support the girls. But the WNBA Valkyries announced the birth of Violet. That's their new mascot. She's super, super pretty. I'm gonna show you a photo here. She hatched from an egg. We love to see it. She got little glasses. I stand because, you know, I wear glasses. Right now I have contacts. But it was cute. I feel like now everybody want to be like Ellie. Ellie is the number one mascot.
Yo,
No one could
When
ever.
Shayla showed me the mask, I said she got a BBL.
Yes, Ellie got a BBL. And so now everybody want to be like her. But there will only be one Ellie, the elephant. We love her down.
Facts.
So shout out to the Valkyries for
Yeah.
pushing my girl out.
Okay. Listen, Raven, Violet, what's her name?
Her name's Violet.
Violet, she on some bald headed house. You know, you feel
She
it?
cute. We stand.
Right. She got a little 2 pieces of fur on top of that scalp. I love that. I said
Girl.
fur, feathers.
Tomato. Yeah, get it.
So the next thing we're going to get into is the NFL. So we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings and the outrage that is surrounding them. So the what was I about to say? Right. The Minnesota Vikings announced they're adding 2 new male cheerleaders, right? For the 2025 season, and some of the fans are acting like it's the end of the world and football as we know it. Okay, so the team shared the news on social media, and while plenty of people applauded the move, a vocal few threatened boycotts and even canceling season tickets, right? So the outrage feels a little misplaced considering male cheerleaders have always been in the NFL for years, right? And 7 teams had them last year alone, and most fans will probably be more focused on the scoreboard than who's leading. So like I think for us, right, it's kind of the same thing we talk about with Kimberly, right? I just don't understand. Like I feel like people choose to be bothered by things that don't need to be bothered about, because at the end of the day, Flint, Michigan is still struggling with water, right? Patterson is still trying to get a water main fixed. I feel like there are just so much bigger issues than me being worried about 2 male cheerleaders being on the field. Like I just don't think it does anything for me. Like it doesn't. If you're bothered by it, most of the time you'll see them, they're on the sideline. If you're looking at the sideline, you're not really there for the game.
Girl, if I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I'm like, go ahead, cancel your membership, because I know we got a waiting list of people that are hoping and praying. Please cancel your membership so I can go on and grab it. It's the same thing when it was like, I think it was Bud Light or one of the brands, like alcoholic beverage. It was like, I think a trans person was promoting it or drinking it, something, or it was in a commercial. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, well, I'm going to ban this drink. I'm like, y'all are so pressed about other people's life. Male cheerleaders have been a part of cheerleading. Like, I don't know. Like, this isn't something new. It's not a new discovery. And if you're watching the NFL, you're watching it for the players.
And like, I think to that point, it's like, if you choose to not support them because of this one thing, you were never truly a real fan.
Hello?
Right? Because like, it kind of goes to like the whole thing with the American Eagle brand. When I was saying, I'm like, if you already never supported the brand, like you were not going to, it's like, oh, I'm boycotting. You were never supporting them in the first place. If you supported them and you feel like what they did was cool, calm, collected, you going to do what you got to do. But if you did support them, you didn't like it, you're not going to support. If you choose not to support, don't support. Just because it's like the same way, if you choose not to support, if 7 people decide I'm not supporting them anymore, there's going to be 7 more people who are like, I want to support them now.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're like, wherever you decide to leave from, don't worry, more people might come in. It's just like, if you want to leave, then go.
Yeah, it's very much I don't even know what the word is. Like misplaced anger. Like you need to go to therapy.
It's homophobic.
It's hard. Well, that's obviously off rip. There would be no reason for you to be mad other than you are homophobic.
And it's like, be mad at me if you want, and be mad at me if you will. But if you are mad that 2 male cheerleaders are joining this team, it's because you have secret urges. Like, it has to be, because there's no other way that 2 people who get paid to do something that don't even concern you, during halftime when they doing their performance, go get a hot dog since you worry about weenies so bad. Like, I don't understand what to tell you.
Yeah. Most people, like, when we went to the HBCU Classic, I barely even saw the cheerleaders, to be honest.
I didn't know there was cheerleaders till Shayla said, Rebecca, look to your left.
Yeah, so it's just unnecessary outrage. Like, be for real, get a hobby, go to therapy, focus on you and your life and your progression, and stop worrying about other people's business.
We're going to make a too much, like, phrase dictionary. First it was, like, it gets to a point. Now it's get a hobby.
Yes, because a lot of people need hobbies. And the other 2 topics, we're not going to spend a long time talking about it. But Michael Phelps worked with the Baltimore Ravens to teach them how to swim. And I thought that was just super wholesome, because these grown men who are like, so just there with Michael Phelps and his little Speedo on, learning how to swim. I'm all for wholesome content.
And I think it's honestly important, because it kind of goes to like the grander conversation about like Black people when it comes to like learning how to swim, because like a lot of times, like, I know we make fun of it, like, oh, Black people don't know how to swim, like, even I make jokes and stuff like that, but like, honestly, it's like there's a deeper history behind it. And I just think, like, you know, that's one of the life skills that we should learn how to have. Me and Jenny, if you watch this, shout out to you. No shout out to you, because you be trying to come for me. No, because Jenny doesn't know how to swim, so then she always be like, okay, you don't know how to ride a bike. And I'm like, if I am ever in a life-saving situation, right, in the ocean, a bike would never save me. I know how to swim.
But it's like a tit for tat. Like, if you want to come for me for this, I'm going to come for you for that.
I can ride a stationary bike. I can ride a tricycle.
Girl, ain't nobody worried about a station. Girl.
You get me a Pelotonic and I could
A Pelotonic?
What's it called?
Peloton? Girl, please. And we wanted to talk about Shedeur Sanders. He made his preseason debut. If you don't know, that's Deion Sanders' son, who
prime time,
correct, from Colorado. He made his debut, and I think it's not a joke, but a lot of people were talking about how he was gonna be selected in the first round, and it turned out, baby, he was the last round. But that's okay. It doesn't matter how you start; it's how you finish. And now he performed well, or decent.
I think to me, the reason why I kind of wanted to talk about this is to see, like, I already saw the support he was getting when people, like, he just kept getting passed up and passed up and passed up, and people are like talking about like the grander conversation of like people trying to like basically
humble him,
penalize him because of his father,
right?
And like they don't like to see confident, humble, like, not humble, but like confident Black men,
correct?
Like, you know, standing your truth, you will be your truth,
right?
You know, and I just think for me, I like seeing the success for him, because I saw. Like, in my opinion, I felt like they were trying to humble him and try to make him, I don't like saying this, pay for what his father's done, but like, to me, his father hasn't done nothing. They just don't like to see people confident in the space that they feel like they should be able to dictate that for you. So I just love seeing the success for him. I do want to get a jersey for him, but I don't support the Browns.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, he's a rookie for the Cleveland Browns, and
such an embarrassing team. Ugh.
Baby, it's not where you start, is where you finish. So again, it's very funny to see, like, anytime he does anything, Black people gonna support him down, and we ride at dawn.
And mind you, remember, this was a preseason game, so
right?
I hit this, so if you heard that, I apologize. But it was a preseason game. It's like the amount of reactions I'm seeing on TikTok of people screaming at the TV. You would think a Super Bowl was being paid.
Girl, if he makes it to the Super Bowl, it's a wrap, honey.
Oh, Shayla, we going to Cleveland.
We are, yeah. That's how I feel about, like, last season with the Washington Commanders. Like, I feel he's just such a, well, he's not.
I like him, and I just like the way that he carries himself. Like, mind you, I was talking about confident players, but I just feel like for him, like, you know, I just feel like I'm
blanking out on his name. I'm thinking about it.
Who?
The Washington Commanders.
Oh my God. What is his name?
Yeah. We love him down, though.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But honestly, like, I just like how he presents himself. I like the way he carries himself.
Yeah.
And I like the same thing with Shedeur. Like, after he did his he said, check out the wrist. You know, I was like, yeah. I like him. I like how he carries himself, and I really want the best for him. He is apparently going to be out the next game because of an oblique injury. I have some thoughts on that, but I'm not going to spread no conspiracy.
Yeah, we're conspiracy free. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun. I love when we talk about our lives at the top because it's like what we do on a normal day basis.
Exactly.
So anyways, thank you guys so much for supporting. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this video with some friends. We know sometimes you send them this and tell them when you are cleaning or just living life, just play it on the TV.
And we're also on Spotify. So it's like you don't
Yes.
have to just put us on a TV or put us on your phone. Like you can listen to us on Spotify.
On the go.
Okay, put us in the ears. Soothing Tones by Rebecca.
On that note, comment a headphone emoji if you made it this far. Love you guys. Appreciate
and comment I'm trying to think. I'm gonna try to comment
nail polish.
Yes, nail polish emoji for Rebecca because Rebecca bougie apparently.
And is, but that's okay. We love the bougie girls, men, everyone. All right,
Guys.
bye guys. See you next Friday.
You.